The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
Hey, it is Tuesday, the 15th of November, 2022, and it is currently just about 10 seconds after 6 p.m. Shucks, I forget to bring the watch fair.
You always forget to bring your watch, Shubi.
Anyway, we won't go down into that. This is another edition of The Living Room with yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I'm always great and I'm never late, alongside my bro with no fro and a lot of flow.
Yeah, Ricardo Mitchell, the baby face age, at least until I grow back my goatee.
How long you hear this take to grow?
You don't worry about that.
Because I need to figure out how long I need to endure the baby face.
Oh no, I'll be a baby face forever, Aaron.
I know all about that. Let's kick it off as we always do, alright? First and foremost, we must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
And secondly, we say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, the Taínos and the Calanagos, because we all know, accept, reiterate, and we teach our children now that Columbus lied, but also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for
PUM.
What?
PUM. The P this week stands for PUM.
Like pump as in P-U-M-P?
Yeah, pump with a U, not a A.
With a U.
Okay, because it's talking like
it sounds like a Ina. I just don't wonder what kind of pump is that?
It's because of an accent.
Yeah, welcome, huh?
Hey, sir, excuse me.
Sorry.
Wow.
I forget the peacock is part of our parlance and I really need to tone it down a little bit. But why pump?
And everybody still thinks that physical fitness is just Arnold Schwarzenegger pumping iron now.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking to address the misconceptions and I guess some conceptions about physical fitness, but that's an improper use of that now. Just putting it out there.
Alright, now before we go any further, we must say please and Tankoo, because we have Dana Tankoo in with us this afternoon with a segment called Please and Tankoo.
Hello friends, my name is Dana Tankoo.
Hi everyone, my name is Brendon James.
And today we're gonna share some thoughts with you. So Brendon, you would have seen over the past few weeks, if not the past few months, some serious, terrible rainfall and its accompanying floods. Were you affected?
Yes, significantly. It's amazing that if you look at the through line of your experiences, the areas that never used to flood start flooding, main road in Point Lisas, or the main road in Point Lisas, which is...
Watch now. By me, all of my access routes were completely underwater. I thank the creator all the time that my house itself is in a place where we don't need to worry about it being flooded, but the routes through Pinal and Debe were heavily compromised, and it rendered us marooned because the only way to get to San Fernando was through the SS Erin Road, and a lot of people, this area is heavily populated. I feel like people don't realize how much people commute through Pinal Debe into San Fernando every single day. And when the back roads are compromised, you have to use this one main road, and it's like 1 million cars. It takes 2 hours to drive through a road that usually takes 10 minutes, and it is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, there's I don't know if there's a word to describe how that pulls on your energy And then we have this long conversation about productivity and not understanding productivity is not just the mentality of the people. It is a holistic, systematic process, and all the inputs has to be weighed. And traffic is just a soul-sucking killer.
It's absolutely exhausting.
It is, and that weather thing is something that we need to start looking at, not just as an anomaly, but as a kind of systematic change that's happening around us, so we have to prepare for.
Yeah. Well, speaking of preparation, Trinidad and Tobago has a delegation at COP27 right now in Egypt. And I would like you to remind us and the viewers and listeners what we ratified in 2018 with the Paris Agreement.
So what we ratified through our normally determined contributions, nationally determined contributions, the NDCs, that we're going to reduce our I don't like to use this word, but I know everybody says it, right? Carbon footprint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reduce our carbon intensity from our different industries, right? So 10% from power, 10% from transportation, 10%, give or take, from our petrochemical industry. Now, there are a number of projects that we have supposed to be turning very soon, hopefully, on the power side, in terms of 112 megawatts of utility scale power, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the transportation side, I know they're looking at a combination of CNG and the utilization of electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. And then I know they're looking at some projects, technology being brought in for PTSD and others. And then you have on the petrochemical side, which could be a combination of energy efficiency and other measures, right? So those are the things that we're going to utilize to help achieve our targets. But I think people forgot that the target's supposed to be ratcheted up, right? So this is not a one and done. This is a starting and then improving on, right?
Yeah.
And then, I pray for our negotiators in COP27 because they have a huge task ahead of them. And, they're having these conversations about loss and damage, which to me is very interesting.
Yeah. I think just today, there was an article outlining that we are basically, Trinidad's delegation is basically notifying the panel that we need more resources, financially and otherwise, to be able to achieve our goals and our NDCs that we agreed on back in 2018. So last year, our Prime Minister would have made an address at COP26, and there were just some points that stuck out to me, right? He had mentioned that the solution is to increase collective ambition. And while I agree, there's a part of me that's always, it's been 4 years since we ratified, and there's a part of me that can see the collective ambition here, but we're not necessarily seeing the output and the plans. Like, we have to dig very deep to find out what exactly is being put in place. I had to do a presentation the other day for some kids, and one of the sections that I had to do was, what have we done so far? And we don't have a very explicit explanation to the public as to what we have done so far to achieve our goals. And our goal time is the year 2030. That's 8 years from now. And it's 4 years since we made this target, right? So I agree. One of the solutions is to increase the collective ambition. However, the ambition is there. The big ambition is there. The youth are very interested and intrigued in this. I feel like many panels have been formed, many groups have been formed to move away from the how can I say, environmentally harmful practices and go towards a more greener, cleaner, renewable, set of practices for our daily lives, basically.
I agree. It's a weird kind of juxtaposition that we in that there are things being done, right? So we have a number of activities, but so it's a criticism that I always have, right? Not necessarily of the government. Well, maybe it's of the principles within the government, the state, the technocrats. You know, if we don't communicate it succinctly and in a strategic way, was it really done? You know,
Exactly.
It's like, and I have this thing that I wrote. You know, the problem with renewable energy is not necessarily price, it's marketing. It's like we're not communicating the things. So I'll just share this one very quickly. We are one of the few countries in the world that actually have a financial plan for NDCs. That businesses could take and go to international banks and say, listen, this is our plans for NDC's financial plan, and we could get investment. And people don't know. People don't know this. I mean, there's a lot that is being done, and that's one part. And the next part that you know we could point and say, listen, there's work to be done, is that there isn't an overarching strategy or vision that you're marshalling people behind. It feels like it's a lot of different pieces, but
and it is
like a connection between all. I don't know.
It is a lot of different pieces because there are various governing bodies involved. The Ministry of Planning, Ministry of Public Utilities, right? So there needs to be a centralized position, and well, Ministry of Energy, naturally. There needs to be a centralized group of people that communicate this to the public. You understand? Because it's almost as if we did this big thing back in 2018, and now we're not necessarily seeing or hearing about it much. Like only when the conference of the parties happen, we hear that we have a delegation there.
Yeah.
Right? But we
have meetings and all of that, yeah.
Right. But we don't necessarily see exactly how to say. We don't see in a very consistent way being put out to us as the public what is happening and what we want to happen, what we're going to do to make it happen. And I feel like that's very important. As you said, which I fully agree on, marketing is very important. Yes, we may be doing it, but if nobody knows that you're doing it, you're not actually doing it.
I agree. And the thing too is like, if there's like a roadmap in terms of, okay, this is where we are, and you have a vision of an end state, and then you can see, okay, these are the steps that takes us to that end state. You have a overarching strategy that everybody could rally around and say, okay, I could see myself being part of this process. You know, at stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, you know, my skills could add value in the various parts as we move towards that end goal. And don't count out the man in the street for understanding and seeing himself as part of that approach. You know, whether you're in agriculture, whether you're in X or Y or different types of industries, you have a part to play in that entire process. So, you know, that's just some of my thoughts on it, and I think we have some work to do.
Yeah. So just to close off, everybody, we all have a part to play. I would love to see, if not a page or just a column that happens weekly or even monthly, just to update us on what is going on with our NDCs and where we're heading with it. What is our progress? I would love to see it. Make it happen, please, and Tankoo.
You know, I really think we should get some kind of music. Theme song. We already have Boris doing their theme music, so I think you and I need to come up with a theme song for these segments.
Introduce the segment.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And this week we are joined. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stay quiet because it's a special moment for you, not me, for you.
Wow. Where do I begin? First and foremost,
It was a rainy night.
I have no idea what kind of night it was when it began. That being beside the point, please stay out of my parents' business. Finally, after several years in the living room, I've managed to convince my brother, my actual genetic brother, blood brother, right, to join us on the program. In terms of all the bio and the qualifications, we're not going through that because it's nepotism, straight nepotism. It's my brother, so he's on my program.
I would still, if I could interrupt you, like to introduce myself formally to the public.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
It's important that people know that, yes, I might be saying what I'm saying as your brother, but they need to know that I'm also certified in what I'm saying as well. So I'm not just talking because I like to talk.
The P this week also stands for protocol.
Alright. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, let me just thank you guys for having me today. It's long overdue from what I've been told. I was actually supposed to be one of the first guests to come on the show way back when this thing was in the early stages, but everything in its own timing. Alright. My name is Rolando Mitchell. Nobody calls me that, right? I go by Lando, Coach Lando, and I am a certified fitness instructor, fitness trainer, exercise coach, and I specify is the right word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's
well, forgive me, I'm not too good with the camera and whatnot, but I specify in corrective exercise and exercise therapy. Right, so
specialized.
Right, so we're not just talking personal training and physical fitness. We have a different avenue where it is I like to try to carry my clients on, as opposed to just the whole fitness aspect. Right. Other than that, I've been doing this for seems so long, 15, 16 years. So I think I have a pretty fair idea of what it is I'm doing.
Okay.
We couldn't tell.
Yeah. This man, like, he found the smallest jersey.
This is my work attire. This is just how it is.
The smallest jersey.
Hey, speaking of work attire, are you allowed to say where you are currently practicing your craft?
I would like to believe so. I work out of Davy Health and Fitness, and well, health and fitness on a whole, because there are several branches. That's pretty much where I'm based. Right? I usually also do home training, group training, outdoor, indoor. So it's not just tied to the gym alone. Right? Remember, we're talking physical fitness here, but it's not only just about lifting weights and putting on muscles. It have a whole lot more to it that people just forget comes with the whole physical fitness arena.
Now, usually we would start by hanging our hats and wiping our feet, right? Just want to ask you off the bat, is there anything positive that happened in the last week that you want to shout out?
Well, strangely enough, I don't really like to look at it as positive this week. Pretty much every day I try to go about how I do what I do in a positive manner. So pretty much every day is a positive day for me. Specifically, one of my longtime clients messaged me, it was Tuesday this week, just randomly out of the blue, and indicated to me that they lost 28 pounds. Now this is 28 pounds in 2 months.
What?
28 pounds in 2 months. Now I had a part to play in it, of course, but I don't really think I just do very much when it comes to this. They do all the work. I pretty much tell them what to do, how to go about doing it, but they actually have to do it. So the positive in that is that the discipline that comes with the fitness is something that not everybody really has. It's easy to say, yeah, I go to the gym, this, that, and the other, but at the same time, you still have to put in the work. So it's always good to know that one of your clients actually putting in the work and getting the results that they're looking for. So that's the positive angle, positive thing that happened this week.
That is great stuff, man.
Yeah.
I want to hang my hat on Aaron, DJ Aaron 868.
Me?
Yeah, because as you know, we try to record these episodes as close to the time as possible. And one of the reasons we cut it real close this round is because Aaron decided that after doing deadlifts on Friday and then sweating football this Saturday, the Sunday morning, he went and partooketh right, in the 10K for City Week.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could share a little bit on that.
Wow. I'll start with the roots. People just always say San Fernando is a hidden place.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And it is. From Skinner Park, you ran to down Independence Avenue, up Hubert Rams, the entirety of Hubert Rams, and up that lovely short hill, that's Alexander Hill, like the shortest hill ever. Mm-hmm. Then you run up San Fernando Street Hill, like another big hill, and then San Fernando Hill. For the first time in my life, I ever saw my calves scrunch in. Like I tried to come off the massage table and the entire calf scrunching, but all in all, I set myself a goal of 2 hours and I finished in 1 hour and 59 minutes and some seconds. Right? Would I do it again? Next year. Next year, same time. But one thing I would start off today's interview with Lando. The masseuse said when massaging my calves that rest plays an important role and hydration plays an important role in avoiding things like cramps.
Right.
So on Saturday night, I was lying with Kenny on the coffee 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning.
Bad influences.
Bad influence, this Kenny Phillips. And then I went and I ran a marathon 6 o'clock Sunday morning. And he said that would have been one of the major factors as to why I would have caught cramp. Could you explain the importance of hydration and rest as well as diet when it comes to a workout regime?
Right, so I would like to assume that when you were lying the night before, you probably had a beverage or two.
No.
No?
No. I actually, to aid in my weight loss journey, I actually cut down significantly on alcohol consumption.
Right, okay. So back to the actual question. Now, what we need to remember a lot of the time is that our bodies are machines. Very, 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 very advanced machines. Now, for it to function properly, one of the main things that we need is to be hydrated. There is a reason that our bodies comprise of 70-75% of water. A lot of people don't know this, right? They think, oh, but I don't like water. Water just tastes bad. Well,
Big up JL.
it does. It doesn't really have a taste, but at the same time, you need it for your organs to function properly, for your skin to function, and your skin is an organ as well, right? So you need it. You need the hydration. Now, what happens now when we go out and we lie and not rest? We put ourselves in a position where it is we allowing the body to do things out of the norm. This might sound kind of contrarian, but not resting is normal for most of us in our lives right now. We don't rest. We don't get enough rest, right? So what ends up happening is that we putting ourselves in pretty much in a deficit. Not a caloric deficit or anything, but a deficit where it is we're not allowing the body to recover properly. So the rest and sleep, they're not the same thing. And we get that out of the way, right? Because we could sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, and not get proper rest, which is what will allow our body to recover. Now, when we recover now, we'll be able to function better, right? So in your case, I'm assuming that you didn't rest properly.
No, 4 hours is not rest.
That is not rest. You maybe slept, but you didn't rest properly. And in not resting properly, and probably not being as hydrated as you probably needed to be heading into something like a 10K, you put your body in a place where it's wondering, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? All right, cool, you run, you go through 2, 3, 4 Ks, and then boom, we might start a lockup because now the body says, all right, I had enough. What exactly are you doing? So your muscles start to look for hydration essentially. And it's pulling it from wherever it could get it at the point in time.
Or the airlobe hunter.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's it,
Right? No, it's true. It just searching.
Right.
And in the searching, the muscles literally doing this, trying to find that hydration, right?
Yeah, for those listening on the radio, it's an active quickening of the clenching.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, forget. Yeah, we must say special good evening going out to those listening on the Dial 90.1 FM.
Yeah, where we are culture crazy.
Yeah, we forget to do that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
It's fine. Yo, this is important stuff.
I have one more follow-up question really quickly. So you say that sleep and rest are two totally different things?
Totally different things. On any given night, whether you sleep for 2 hours or 10 hours, there is a specific period that allows you to actually rest and recover. Right? It's called something called REM sleep. It is a very, very, very deep sleep that pretty much puts your body in a state where very little is happening. Because what we just fail to realize is that even though we are asleep, things happening. Our heart is beating, blood pumping, we digesting food. Things are happening.
Processing alcohol.
We're processing alcohol. All these things are happening while we sleep. The REM sleep allows pretty much a lot of these functions to, I'll use the word loosely, to cut off so that your body could actually recover in a state where it's doing very, 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 very little, minimal. And if you don't get into that REM sleep period, you're ultimately not really giving your body the amount of time to recover as it should recover.
So you could help us a little bit with the difference between being a fitness trainer and an exercise coach?
Alright, now the two of them pretty much kind of go hand in hand because I introduced myself as both.
Yeah, that's why I asked for the...
Yeah, so how I like to differentiate the two, because if you go on Google right now, you're probably not going to see fitness coach. I mean, you're not going to see fitness trainer. You'll probably see fitness coach and exercise trainer, the opposite way. I like to do it the way I did it because the coaching aspect comes with training somebody. You can't really train an athlete or anybody for that matter, somebody learning to play the piano. A coach would train them to do it along the lines of what they think might be the best strategy to go about learning that. So you're pretty much coaching somebody as opposed to just telling them what to do. Right now, a trainer, essentially just an instructor, somebody who instructs you to do the exercises in the right way, proper form, tell you how much of the reps to do,
And shout at it,
and shout at you, which I do not believe in that method, but it works for some people. Some people need it. But the training part and the coaching part are two separate things because now the coaching becomes more of you're taking a bigger frame to work with essentially, because we now have to work with building muscle and we have to work with the mental connection. We have to work with the connection that you actually do have with the client, right? And that's how you ultimately coach somebody. If somebody comes to you and tells you to do something, you'll probably do it. But if somebody coaches you to do it, you're more inclined to listen and pay attention as to why it is they're doing it, because you're taking a bigger, you're going into it with a mindset that allows you to realize I'm not just being told what to do. This person is actually genuinely looking out for my best interest.
Okay.
Could we sum up that by saying the training aspect is instructional, but the coaching is relational?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, very much so, because like I say, it's not just about being told what to do and following instructions properly. It's like your barber. Let me just put it like this, and I'm using this analogy very loosely. Your barber does ultimately become one of your best friends if you're loyal to your barber, right? You talk about things throughout your day, how things going in your relationship. You do that.
Brendon just want the barber.
Right. Now, an instructor in a class wouldn't really have the connection to do that with 10, 12, 15 people while instructing. But a coach now, you could pull them square and sit down and say, hey, what happened? How was your day today? And a coach does that. A coach doesn't just tell you what to do. A coach guides you appropriately.
Now, and we bring that into the real life application here, because a lot of us feel that, okay, as I say, after God is Google, after Google is YouTube, they just go on YouTube and say 15-minute ab workouts.
Right.
And you do that. That the level of the relationship between coach and workout person, I don't know what to call that.
Trainee?
Coach and training.
Trainee?
Coach and coachee.
Client.
Coach and client, right?
Client.
Right. The level of interaction between coach and client is not there if you go on YouTube. So if, like, let's say, would you recommend somebody just go to YouTube and look for workouts, or more go along the lines of looking for somebody to guide them? I wouldn't say train them, to guide them to their goal.
It's important for us to remember too that a lot of people come into training and wanting to lose weight or whatever for different reasons, right? So I wouldn't say no, don't go on YouTube. Who knows what we say? They're just looking for likes and this and that. No, that's not true, because a lot of these things are very helpful. These fitness instructors out there and influencers and this, that, and what and the other. They are actually trying to help people, yes, but some of them have agendas. So I'm not going to say that don't go on YouTube. There's a lot of good stuff out there. The connection, though, probably not going to be there. But at the same time, like I said, you have to take into consideration the fact that maybe I don't like somebody telling me what to do in person, or I want somebody telling me what to do more so in person than on a screen, because I can't create that connection, right? So we have to keep in mind that the reason why it is you're getting into fitness plays a very important part as to how you choose to, which method you choose then. Whether you want a trainer, whether you want to go online, whether you want to go in the gym, whether you want to train outdoors. You know, so it's remember some people just come to the gym as a release to them, not necessarily even to work out, because they have whatever it is going on in their life, and the gym might be the only thing that actually makes them feel at ease. So yeah.
When they come in with the headphones on, they ain't talking to anybody, they're not looking for a coach or advice. This is just them exercising some me time and self-care.
This is me time, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of going to the gym or even group training. Right? So I will put on a video. I will look for the stuff that I want, because that is also one of my zones. That when I doing that on washing waves, when I in that place, I'm not really reading messages. I'm not thinking about anything except the thing that I'm doing at that point. However, I have the advantage of being able to tell you to check my form. Let me know if I'm doing this properly. I don't want to hurt myself by doing that. And so is there a way for somebody to find like the balance between, hey, I like what I like, but I'll still need help, I'll still need support?
You should probably explore different avenues, see what works for you. That's the biggest thing when it comes to training, because I've had clients, they like me, but they may not necessarily like my style of training and how it is I might train. I might be too soft.
Right, too gentle.
Right? I might be too gentle. But again, it's a personal thing.
Right.
So you kind of have to explore it. You have to see, you have to try out different things, see how it works for you. Forget the personal training aspect of it. Go to the gym, see if you like the gym. Put on the YouTube video and compare them and see which one made you feel better.
Or if you feel adventurous, try running up Alexander Hill.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Yeah.
Or
going
hiking,
outside and running.
or hiking from the North Coast back up to Pyramid. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, whatever. This is somewhere for whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
From what you've seen, what is the main motivation for somebody to get into fitness?
To get into fitness?
Yeah, to start working out.
Me personally, or
No, what you've seen.
okay. It's always about aesthetics. It usually starts there. Then when you have a conversation with them, you get to realize that is more than that. Right? Because a lot of the times, and this is something I just personally do, whether it's with a new client, whether it's just a new member to the gym, anybody who walks in, I pull them square and we go and have a chat. I like to call it that. I say, let's go have a chat. Because I want to know what it is you come here for. Right?
If I walk in the gym and you tell me let's have a chat, firstly, I don't think I have an option to have that chat.
Right? Empty your pockets to show them, well, I didn't teach nothing.
Secondly, if someone of your stature and your physique comes to tell me, so we're coming here to do, my first thing will be like, I don't want to look like you though. I just want to probably lose the belly fat, tone up the arms. When I wear short pants, you see the quads, I get to go. And I'm out, especially calves, because I realize people neglect calves. Calves are very important, guys. Trust me.
But also very notoriously difficult to grow.
Very hard, very, very tough.
So you see that they come in generally with a aesthetic objective, but the motivation behind it does normally be something.
Here's how the questions go when I pull them in for the chat. Right, so first things first, we have any injuries or anything I need to know about?
Nah.
Right. So go down the line and say no, and I'll start with neck pain, knee pain, shoulder pain. Well, right. Good. Okay, cool. We cover that. Any health concerns that I need to know about? Nah, everything good as far as I know. Alright, so no high cholesterol, low cholesterol, blood pressure, sugar. Well. Right? Alright, so we cover that now. And then now we get to the meat and potatoes of the thing. Why we in the gym? Why did we come?
Well, I just want to.
Well, right, and it goes exactly like that. Well, same thing you said just now. Just want to get rid of some of this belly fat. And, you know,
You guys
I don't really. Well,
yeah, you ban from saying
you'll
that.
be surprised, but it's we'll keep it PG for the time, right? But they come about it with this whole, yeah, I want to be specific to my shoulders, and you know, kind of like my back doesn't really. Okay, cool, but how about if I was to tell you to run up these steps right now? Oh, now? Yeah. Nah, I'm not really looking to do that cardio thing. And so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now everybody has their goals, but at the same time, what I try to do is get them to approach the fitness thing from holistic. That's the right word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right. In that type of manner, where it is we kind of cover, or at least try to cover all bases. So we're looking at some strength building, some muscle building, some physical, cardiovascular fitness, endurance, the whole shebang. Put them into one. That's just me. This is my style. That's what I like to do. But plenty of people not about that. They're about, I want my chest to get big.
So I bench pressing every day.
Bench pressing every day. Alright? Okay, fine. What can end up happening?
What about your arms?
Right, exactly. You're going to do, and this kind of falls into line where, in what I specialize in, which is the corrective exercise aspect, you're going to create imbalances in your body. If you spend too much time focusing on my chest alone, or even, and it works both ways, you know, is you want to do cardio all the time. It's not exactly a good idea either, because your heart is also a muscle.
So,
and the rest as well. So
so when they say you have to find the balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So weight training some days, you could do things like weighted cardio.
Conditioning, yeah. I like to call it conditioning. Yeah.
Right. And then the muscle endurance. That's three totally different things.
All three separate things, pretty much the same. What's the word I'm looking for? Pretty much doing the same things, essentially lifting weights, pressing, squatting, this, that, the other. But now we're talking about using oxygen or not using oxygen. So we started talking about aerobic versus anaerobic. Now it might get a little confusing for somebody who doesn't understand what it is, but for instance, if you ever watch like a 100-meter race, those guys very rarely breathe for that 10 to 15 seconds that they run. Yes. Believe it or not. And the reason why is because the pace that they have to run at, it is hard to breathe. So it is almost easier to just not breathe for that 10 seconds as opposed to trying to control your breathing for that period of time.
So that's anaerobic.
So that one would be anaerobic because we not relying on oxygen. Yeah. And again, you have to train to be able to do that.
And I don't know if you follow Usain Bolt on Instagram. He still does some of that training, and I just get tired of watching that training.
Training is a totally different thing, and for something like track and field, oh my goodness, I have never done anything as hard in my life. I swear to it. It is really, 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 really tough, really, really, really intense. So even the supreme athletes in us, nothing compared to the actual work that you have to put in as a professional athlete.
You mentioned the biggest motivation. What have you seen to be the biggest obstacle to somebody starting to work out, starting to exercise? You know, actually changing the clothes and
that could be the biggest one I think I've seen in recent time is time. Right? Because especially with this whole COVID pandemic, this, that, the other, everybody is hustling this round. So you have 2 and 3 jobs, per se. And you want to fit in the time to train. You want to train. You really genuinely want to go and work out, whether it's 2-3 days for the week. But between those jobs and your home life, the baby, this and that, and running about, it just really honestly doesn't find the time. So a lot of people come to me and say, gosh, I want to work out, but I just really don't have the time. Now, I could understand it, but at the same time, there is a lot of exercises and a lot of things that you could get done in 15-20 minutes. Right? So yes, the time is one of the biggest obstacles that I encounter, but at the same time, there's no excuse. None.
I honestly thought you were going to say that finances would have been the biggest obstacle.
Not so much, because now we're talking a different thing, because you could train by going outside the yard and walking around the block. You could work out doing that. That all that matters essentially, because people get really, really confused with this working out thing. What we need to try to do is get more active. Have a little bit more active lifestyle. The training is one thing, yes, but let's be real, a lot of us, we sit in here, right? And look how you sitting, you're here. You didn't notice, because it becomes natural to sit that way, right? And the only reason that has happened is the same thing that has happened with a wheelbarrow that you put in the shed and you leave it there. It gets rusty, right? And that's how it is your body does function. If you are not if you're not an active person and you have a sedentary lifestyle, sitting most of the time, you're behind a desk, plenty of things happening there, right? And I wish I could have turned to the side. I should, because this is how we just end up.
Who won?
Right?
With your phone in your hand.
It's coming. I was now going to pick it up. You have your phone and you're here. Now, ideally, I'm the guy that's be walking around the gym, somebody sitting right out, just so that they can sit upright. I'll see them on the phone on the here, and I would tell them, all right, do me one favor, at least just bring it face height.
You just trying to show up your biceps.
Oh, no. You know what? I'll wear a long sleeve next time.
That's not going to help.
Exactly, to look worse.
Because you'll be seeing veins truly.
Right, exactly. But it's true. It's just about being more active. That's something that a lot of us we take it for granted. So and we will still, and not to cut you, but we will be in the gym. We'll go and work out, train hard for an hour and a half, and then we back to sitting down on the couch for 2.5 hours in the cinema watching Black Panther. Right?
Yeah,
my girlfriend get vexed with me.
That movie very long.
When I in the cinema, I'd be doing this right through and kicking out my legs. I might stand up for 2 seconds in the cinema.
You sit on the back, right?
No, unfortunately the person behind me doesn't be too pleased, but I can't stay still like that for hours on end. Right? So it's just about getting a little more active. The little things. When you go to the mall, instead of looking for the closest park to the mall, how about take up further park?
You know, that is something I actually practice at work.
Yeah.
Instead of parking by the park closest to the step, park furthest away.
Now from a safety,
one safety permits.
Right, exactly. From a safety perspective.
No, but yeah.
You ain't gonna park in the last park down at the end of the mall and where you have no light and
you're looking for.
Alright.
But we all know people who starting back gym 6 months out of the year.
Monday.
Every Monday they're starting back. Or they would start, and one of the biggest challenges I had was doing anything more than 2.5 months. Anytime I hit that 2.5 month mark, I miss for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden I hit a slump and I have to start over. Right? So what have you seen to be the derailing factor?
Now, training is tough. Working out is tough. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but again, we have to remember if we're trying to achieve a certain goal, we have to put our body under a certain amount of stress, per se, to see any type of change, right? So it's tough, and it'll just get tough. And somebody will come to the gym, boom, I'm ready, let me go. And depending on what it is they do that day, they saw tomorrow, day after, following day. Now that's all part of it, but at the same time, there is absolutely no reason somebody who now comes to the gym for the first time and has not worked out in months, years even sometimes, there's no reason for them to be leaving the gym that day in any kind of pain whatsoever. So what you find happens, to answer your question, is that people just want to do too much, too fast, too soon. Now, that's where people like me come in now to provide some type of guidance with. Because remember we said when they come to the gym, if I notice you're a new person, a new member to the gym, or a new client,
It's gangster then.
I gangster enough
Yeah, but
with the talk, so that we know going
That
into
chat,
it.
it's a chat, not talk. It's a
Right.
chat.
but
See how the trick coming out now?
Mhm.
but the wedding is in 6 weeks, or carnival is in 2 months.
Well, that's fine. I'm okay with the short-term goals.
Mhm.
I have a dress that I want to fit into.
Mhm.
Trust me, you wouldn't believe how often I just hear that, which is fine. I like that. Good, you have your goal set. Are you willing to put in the work that is required to get into that dress in 3 months?
And we had to remind the listeners that the work is not just, as you said, in the gym
Mm-hmm.
or in the yard.
Mhm.
The work is the exercises, it's the diet,
Mm-hmm.
it's the rest,
Dehydration.
it's the hydration, it's the mental aspect of not taking on the stress. Is there are plenty of things?
Yeah, a lot of things to take into consideration. And that's the problem. Sometimes the chat that I just have just go on for about a half hour.
Yeah, but I now be at an hour and a half now.
You know what I mean?
I pay for my session today, and this man talking to me for
Yeah,
half
no,
an
it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
But nobody I've ever spoken to yet, hopefully, has had a problem with me being as thorough as I just tried to be even before they lift a weight. It changed over in my time. I've realized that before there was like, let me say 10-15 years ago, you come to the gym is a lot of youths and middle-aged people who are putting some weight. Putting a 10 pounds or 15 pounds.
Yeah.
That's what it was before. Now, hearing a lot more people saying, well, trying to, get serious about my health. Now, what happens with that, a lot of the time is because they had some scare. Something happened. They was feeling some palpitations in the chest, and they don't know what it was. They went by the doctor, and could have been stressed. But now they're a little more aware of the fact that, let me get serious. So you're seeing a lot of even elder people, 50s, 60s, 70s, come to the gym for the first time in their life.
Since we hit everything, we could come back to the first question that we normally ask our guests when they inside the living room. And we're not asking, where's the scene, or where's the just physicist, or where's the word hummingbird to keep it local. How are you, Lando?
I'm great. I am great. Over the last few years, what's happening here?
Now he's concerned that you're going to say one of my signature lines now,
Which is,
like carrot and coleslaw,
oh God, no, I ain't going that far. I just good with the great part.
cheese and cheese paste.
I'll be I'll be honest. The last few years were kind of tough, and I'm talking pre-pandemic,
BC, before
Yeah.
COVID.
So what it is, I realized, let me call that what, 4-5 years ago. Let me say about 4-5 years ago, that I needed to take a different approach to how it is I was seeing life, essentially. And with the fitness arena, it works the same way too, because if your mind not in it, you're wasting time. So I ultimately came to a place where I started to say to myself, Lando, things mightn't be okay, things mightn't be going too smooth right now, but so long as you continue to tell yourself everything's gonna be alright, I'm good, you'll be able to handle anything that comes. And trust me, things have come. Things have been coming. And it seems as if they're continuing to come, and you always have to be ducking and weaving and bobbing right through. But they will come. But now I feel like I'm more prepared to deal with them, as opposed to maybe like 10-15 years ago when I was younger, if you want to call it that.
And wild.
And wild, yeah. Look, it is what it is. So I'm good. I'm great, actually. Every day, every single day.
And I have a question for Carlo now. Right? As your brother is a trainer and coach, right? Have you ever sought advice from him in improving your level of fitness? Because on Sunday at the marathon, someone told me that Carlo should have been here too.
I've always been a bit heavy set, for want of a more delicate phrasing. And when I started exercising in my teens, big up gym for having the weight set and that type of thing, and always being, muscle and fitness magazines lying around and that type of thing. Right? I started training and I got pretty swole for somebody my size. Toting, we used to tote buckets of water and gas tank and push start maxi and that kind of thing. So we were physical with a purpose. But I was always telling him, I specifically remember there's a solid 10-year stretch where I'm telling him that with his frame, his metabolism, etc., if he was to start training as opposed to just liking sports, he would be a beast. He would be a beast. And when he did start training, it was I can't even say a match made in heaven. It was like a realization of this is who he is. It's not just about liking the sports, it's about being able to do it, it's about understanding why it happens, it's about being able to explain to somebody why it happened the way that it happens. It's like his love for sport became something else because now it's like sport elements in your life. Anything you're doing requires movement and activity. So it would have been very arrogant of me to not acknowledge that my interest was his passion, and more than just his passion, but also quite possibly his purpose. So I'm telling you, last week, right, I was doing something and he was like, hey, what are you doing there? What is you trying to do there? And he was like, all right, try this instead. Or I would even call him outside when I'm trying to use the TRX and I want to do amended exercise or something like that. Or I would ask, we would have discussions, I would sit down sometimes and listen to what he's listening to. Or it would be very arrogant to believe that because somebody younger than you, start after you, right? What I mean is, you have to trust what somebody's expertise is based on the work that they put into it.
And he was into fitness way before I was. Way.
Training under the mango tree in the backyard and all that kind of thing. I make a punching bag out of tires and rope. What I mean is,
you could have been Kung Fu Panda.
He's not the thing. And so yeah.
Double gas tank.
Yeah, Tankoo gas tank and thing. That's using where I had it. Right? So in short, yes, and I will continue to do so because he's a professional, and on top of being a professional, he's an expert who actually believe in what it is he's doing.
Now, the reason why I asked that is because most of us have members of our families that are involved in professions or fields that sometimes we need their help, but we don't seek it because I'm a brother or I'm a sister, and they might rough them up a little bit more than usual. And it's good to know that along your journey, even though from the times he used to come and try to sweat football with us in the park, he wasn't the most coordinated footballer.
As he said, I was the athlete. Let me just leave it at that.
I was a mathlete, alright? This a performer.
You still go Maths Olympiad?
Yeah,
Me too,
Maths Olympiad. You too?
Yeah.
Big up the Maths men, dog.
I used to spend a lot more time outdoors, not indoors. So,
and it's helpful to seek the help of your family if they are into a profession that you need their help, because it gives them that confidence to know that, hey, my brother is confiding in me or coming to me for help along their journey. They may not be walking the same path like me to look like that. Yeah. Not everybody wants to look like that.
No, exactly. A lot of people want to, but not everybody is willing to do what it takes.
What is our workout week like for you?
Ooh, that depends on the week, right? Now, I was fortunate that I've been training consistently for the last 15 years, right? So I have an advantage when some days I might only train once, maybe twice for the week. And again, trust me, there are weeks where it is I'm only able to train once, maybe twice.
So that means you're training for that 24 hours straight?
No.
Okay.
I try my best not to spend anything more than an hour and a half in the gym. right?
Yeah, because half hour is the talk, half hour is cardio, and then half hour is weight training.
Oh, well, you see, it's funny you say that because a lot of the time when I do my warm-ups and I say, right, time to work out, people will be like, what? We didn't start yet? No, we didn't start with warm-up.
And there's something that I want to ask really quickly because we are getting perilously close to the hour of 7 p.m. Do you recommend that persons do some sort of, before stretching, get their body warm and loose first?
Yeah. Now, the thing is, you could get warm pretty much doing anything. Again, remember, once we are active. So, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to take 5 or 10 minutes on the treadmill. You could simply just walk up and down some steps, flight of stairs or two. It could be anything. Once you are actively moving and getting that blood pumping and circulation going and your heart rate up a little bit.
Like 100 steps.
Ooh, 100 steps is tough. Been a while, but ooh.
You know what? I think we should.
No.
Let me finish now. We should take a pity at the bottom of the 100 steps to make people feel like we do it.
Oh,
You just sprinkle some water on your face.
Yeah,
You get that?
we do it for the gram.
with the likes. Speaking of the likes and the gram, please remember to follow DJ Aaron 868, subscribe rather to DJ Aaron 868 on YouTube so that you can catch the episodes of the living room that you may have missed. Contacts.
Remember, business purposes only.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest social media person. So I actually can't remember if I have an Instagram account. I think I do. But if you all want to contact me, you can call me at 378-0460. WhatsApp or call is fine by me. Again, let's keep it for business only. Nothing casual.
And nobody looking for our smalls in 2022. Lando, I want to thank you for joining us, man. This has been cool. This has been pretty dope.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Hey,
I afraid to shake your hand. It's not my break off my hand, yes?
Yeah, so fine.
That's cream.
Lotion.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, so
Don't advertising.
I want to, because I got to mention the old man in the Jameson art now, and then I say, let me not go down that road.
Hey, that art is, I think,
You know, if it was the other way around, it would have been problematic. Anyway,
sexual abuse.
Whoa. So I want to thank Dana, Tankoo, and Brendon James for that segment earlier with the Please and Tankoo on COP27. It's going to be interesting times going forward. I also want to acknowledge Richard Williams, aka Willie with a Y. He'll be joining us again next week. And big up Willie because he started a wellness challenge on Facebook that have me working out ways like 55 or 60 out of the last 65 days.
No relation.
No relation. Right, so thanks. Community is important to fitness. Accountability is important. The proper guidance is important. Honesty is important because you realize people can't help you if they don't know what the real problem is.
Yeah.
Right, so I just want to thank everybody who's been part of the communities that helping us to get where we're going. It's Ricardo Mitchell, the babyface sage. Thanking you guys for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is okay. You don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe.
Lando, thank you very much.
No problem.
Only rule next time, wear bigger shirts. Please and thank you.
I don't have any big shoots. Sorry.
That's the last one.
And I want to let persons know I'm not posting the elements of my fitness journey on Facebook and Instagram for likes. I'm posting it to show you that sometimes you may think that success will look a certain way, that you're working all the time, you have the jobs you have been working for. But if you don't take care of your health and yourself, you will not be able to enjoy or reap the benefits of the work that you put in. So I'm putting it there as a reminder to persons that even if you are trying to climb that ladder to success, you need to remember that one of the foundation steps is taking care of yourself, right? I always tell you that love is the currency, so spend some today. Let somebody know that you love them, please. And up next is Mr. Desmond with the big band. Yeah, Desmond, up next.
Any closing remarks?
To somewhat piggyback on what you just said there, I think we need to get more active. It really comes down to just being a little more active, start doing things that will put you in a position to have a more active lifestyle. I'm not saying come to the gym. I'm not saying do any specific one thing, but simple things. Walk up and down the flight of steps in your home a couple of times. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park further away from the mall or your grocery. It's simple things. And once we start getting into the habit of creating a more active lifestyle, it might actually be easier for us to jump into the training arena, because now we are a little more prepared. So just get active out there, guys. It's a lot of things happening and the world isn't what it used to be. So we have to change with how things are changing. And sitting down, nice, I like that. Good. Boom, one time, get our posture up. Sitting down, just taking it in and watching as it goes, that no longer works. We can't do that anymore.
Remember guys, this is City Week here in San Fernando. There are a lot of activities taking place at many different establishments. But Saturday morning, Juve, 4 o'clock. And Sunday evening, Terry Lions. I am Lions, sorry. What does that?
Nothing.
Yeah, please don't ever do that again.
Keep it locked.